planes are now also starting for Pacific and Americas, and so today we're gonna do Pacific, and then tomorrow we will do the Pickems for Americas. So let's get right into it. And so when we're gonna take a quick look at the ELO ratings for Pacific, as you can see, T1, Zeta, and Nongshim are the only teams that have not played Summit thus far. So does seem like these are perma-bans for them right now. Maybe they're waiting till they have more time. But yeah, for the moment, these seem to be perma bans. And so with that, I think the ELO rating is fairly accurate. So paper eggs are still at the top by quite a large amount, which I would still agree with. Then there's T1, Genji, and GE. Then the one major thing I would switch up is I would put Varel where Nongshim is and Nongshim where Varel is kind of. So then I would have like kind of T1, Genji, GE, and Varel as a tier below Pepper X for the moment. And then after that, in another tier, Nongshim as well as DFM. Then after we have like I will kind of put the rest as a pack together probably with Full Sense, RRQ, Team Secret, and Zeta. They all are kind of the same the same skill, I would say. And then I will put DRX maybe a tad below them. Just because they've really not looked fine at all. With yeah, during stage 2, so I will put them below the rest a bit. But yeah, overall I think the ELO rating is decent for Pacific. But yeah, now let's get into the pick'ems. And as you can see, last week I went a respectable 4-2, I would say. Very winning over Paper X, that was really sick. I really enjoyed that. And then RQ winning versus Nongshim, I really didn't expect that. RQ had not looked great at all. And yeah, quite disappointed by Nongshim if I'm being honest. So now let's get into the play-in pick'ems. And first up with the round 1 matches, I'm gonna go through each of these matches and very quickly talk about these tier 2 teams since I really don't know a lot about them. So yeah, kind of as a disclaimer, I really am not that into Pacific tier 2. I can't tell you a lot about these teams and how good they are supposed to be. I'm kind of basing it off of a bit of history, you know, like which regions have historically done well, and then maybe individual players that I might know on these teams and things I've heard from the community. But yeah, I certainly don't know that much about these tier 2 teams, so I might be underestimating them quite a bit, but we'll get to that in a bit. And so first up we've got DRX versus Onsite Gaming, and Onsite Gaming has Hermes, who was on DRX actually before, so that's gonna be a banger match. And then also their duelist, I think he's their duelist, Siesta. He's supposed to be like a really cracked tier 2 talent. So that's about all that I know from Onsite. It's obviously a Korean team, and so that's kind of what I'm basing it off of. That given the track record of Varel and Nongshim, I think I'm gonna expect the Korean tier 2 team to be the strongest out of the 4. Which I don't know if it's fair to the teams, but yeah, historically I feel like that's mostly been the case. So yeah, that's why I think Onsite Gaming is gonna be the best. And in their first match, I think Onsite Gaming should be able to win it. I think KRX, as I said before, they did seem like the weakest team in Pacific, and with Onsite Gaming, in my opinion, or in my guess, kind of probably being the best tier 2 team. I think Onsite Gaming should be fine in this, um, especially with Siesta. If he is gonna be as insane as promised, then I think they should really be fine, since kind of Yunmin ending up being like having an insane game is probably DRX's best win condition, and then if Siesta also has an insane game, that kind of would equal it out. Then next up we've got RRQ versus Sharper Esports, and Sharper Esports is the number one SEA seed, and it's a full Thai roster, so it's exciting that we get to see more Thai talent. And this team consists of a couple of players that were on the old Full Sense org before Full Sense acquired the talent roster and made their jump into tier 1 with that. And yeah, so that's gonna be exciting if we get that match. I don't know if it's gonna be possible of Sharp Esports was Full Sense, but yeah, I don't know a lot about this team. I know Les is on that team. I know him, and then yeah, a couple of Full Sense players, and they obviously were the number one seed of SEA. Zipto is or Zip. I don't know. I think Zipto was another SEA team who came in through LCQ. And from what I've heard, I think Sharper is like the higher floor team, and Zipto is the higher ceiling team. So Sharper should be a decent team, but Zipto probably has the higher potential. And for Sharper in their first match versus RRQ, I think this is going to be a really close one, and I can honestly see going either way, since I don't know much about Sharper. But since RRQ looked really good in that last week's match, I am gonna go with RRQ. Yeah, I think with this team looking better, they should come into play-ins uh looking fairly good. Then next up we have Full Sense versus QT Dick Infinite. I don't know how to pronounce this team. I guess QT Dick should just be fine. I don't know. But yeah, QT Dick is the Japanese representative. They're the Japanese number one seed, and they have Margaret on their team, who used to be on Nongshim. That's about the only thing that I know about this team. I don't know how well they are gonna be, and so what I'm kind of going off of is just this team being the Japanese one seed, and usually the Japanese one seed didn't do a whole lot in tier 1, or like in the Ascension tournaments usually. So because of that, I think they are probably gonna be the weakest out of the 4 tier 2 teams, and because of that, I am gonna give it to Full Sense. I am still absolutely, completely, fully worried about Full Sense. I still am not. I'm not on board with them being great, since well they obviously just went 1-4 in stage 2. So yeah, really worried about this team, but they, I think they should still be fine versus a tier 2 team. And from Zipto, I only really know Surf. He used to be on Talon in 2024, I believe. And yeah, that's about all I know. They're full Thai team. They're the number 2 SCA team who came in through the LCQ qualifier. And yeah, I from what I've heard, again, what I said about Sharper, Zipto seems to be the team with the higher ceiling, so maybe they will come in insane. Um, maybe they come in and just shit the bed. I don't know what's gonna happen with this team. I don't know how good they are. So yeah, I think I'm gonna probably look at Sharper and Zipto kind of equally. And then yeah, in this match, I think Team Secret should be fine. I think Team Secret has overall looked really solid with their changes. And yeah, they've been performing solidly, and I think they should be fine versus Zipto here. So then, now that we've got these 4 matches out of the way, I think it should be going a bit quicker. Next up, we've got Zeta versus Onsite Gaming, and I honestly think this is gonna be a really close banger if we get that. And I think just because I'm gonna be really hyped about this team, I'm gonna go with Onsite Gaming here. I think Zeta are probably the favorites in this match, but I'm gonna go with Onsite Gaming because yeah, I hope that Ziesta is gonna be everything we're getting promised about him. So yeah, going with Onsite Gaming here. Then DFM I think should beat RQ. I think T1 should be Full Sense and Nongshim should still be Team Secret. Then in the 2 qualification matches, Onsite versus DFM, I still gotta go with DFM though. They've looked really great in stage 2. They were so close to making playoffs directly. So yeah, I think they really are a good team, and I don't really think I don't see a tier 2 team being able to beat DFM right now. And then T1 versus Nongshim, I think T1 should be fine in this. I think T1 and DFM are clearly the 2 strongest teams coming into this play-in stage. And I'd be really surprised if either of these 2 doesn't make playoffs. So then in the lower bracket, we've got KRX versus Team Secret, and I think Team Secret should be able to take that. I've really been disappointed with DRX and how they've looked, and I don't think this week that they've had, I don't know if they will have another week till this match then will be. Not too sure about that, but I don't think it's gonna be quite enough for KRX to fix the issues, so Team Secret should be fine. And then we would actually get the promised match of Sharper versus Full Sense, and I think this is gonna be a banger. And to be honest, I think Sharper could really take this. I think this match would actually just come down to who would want it more. And I do see the argument of the Sharper Esports members just wanting it more because they, like a lot of them, used to be on Full Sense, and now this team is in tier 1 without them. So I could understand them, but I don't know. I just can't really see Primi being able to lose this. Like, I don't know. I think it seems so crazy to me to think that Primi would go out versus tier 2 Thai talent. I feel like he just win this. And I also think with Killua and Sephiroth especially, since they're like newer additions to tier 1, I feel like these 2 will also want to prove why they are in tier 1 and these players are in tier 2 of the Thai league. Then Team Secret versus Full Sense, I think it's gonna be a close match from how these teams have looked, and like honestly, I'm really uncertain about who to pick. I think Secret are, like, from what we've seen in stage 2, Secret are the better team, but Full Sense should be the better team. And yeah, outside of stage 2, they've been better like all year long, and they are individually a better team, so I still think I'm gonna give it to the better individuals. And then onside versus full sense, w- I think like the lower bracket run by full sense could be real here. And again, I think they're likely gonna be favorites here, but I am gonna give it to Onside Gaming because I just want one tier 2 team at least to make it through. And I think Onside have the best odds at that. So then down here, I think RRQ should be fine versus QT Dig. I think Zeta versus Shipto or Zipto. I think this is gonna be a really close one, but I think Zeta have looked really decent, and so I'm gonna give it to Zeta. I think I would also slightly favor Zeta over RRQ, but again, this would be a really close match. And then Nongshim versus Zeta. I could see Zeta winning this, but I think I'm gonna give it to Nongshim. I think like this team, like Nongshim, really should be good, and I feel like there's just like a little bit is just missing. Like kind of the last bit is missing, and I don't know. Maybe I'm delusional, but I feel like the time that they'll have for playing, and then within like play-ins is gonna go over 2 weeks, then the additional week should surely be enough for Nongshim to fix their issues enough to make it to playoffs at least. I'm for sure not certain about this happening, but yeah, that's kind of my best bet right now. And so that's my bracket for the play-in stage and how I think it's gonna go. Is it gonna end up like this? I would be really surprised if it would. But yeah, I think like with some of the matches, I went more so for what I want to see happening. But then again, I think it's impossible to predict this anyways. So yeah, I hope we get one tier 2 team that's gonna go far. I've kind of been really down on the other ones, but I don't know about much about the tier 2 teams, and I feel like Onside Gaming are probably gonna be the best. So yeah, that's why they are the only team that I really see doing anything. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Who do you have making it through? Like, who are the 4 teams that you think will make it to playoffs? And how well do you think the two teams are gonna do in this play-in format? And then we're gonna see each other tomorrow for the Americas play-in Pickems.